All right, there we go. We are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris. This is my channel. We love comics. And my graded comics have arrived a day early. They said they were going to be arriving tomorrow, but I got a nice knock on the door, and it wasn't the tax man or a bill collector. It was the post office worker sending me some comics. Now, I actually have 8 comics here, but I'm only going to do 4 of them today. So this way the videos do not, get too long. So what we're going to do is normally they have the boxes, they had them like the last time, 2 separate boxes. But this time they just put them in one huge box and they just wrapped all 8 of them together. So I'm going to just pick randomly 4 of the comics for today so the video doesn't stay too long. And then we will do the rest tomorrow. And you have my word, I will not look at them until then, because I want to be just as surprised as you by seeing the grades together. So stay tuned for tomorrow for part 2 of this. And it's actually an interesting story about some of these. But I want to say hello to the people that are here. Even though YouTube states there are 0 people watching, there's plenty of people that commented. Super Mario 64, you are first. Everybody say hello to Super Mario. The Dorkeries is here. Never seen you before. Welcome. Daniel is here. Laro Lopez, Collector, Robotech, Greg, Johnny Future, R. Malden, John is here, it's Danny is here, Joe Rios, Wildchild, Hilaeus Velastegui, I totally butchered that, I'm sure. Michelle T says, thank you for your amazing videos. Well, I'm glad you see him amazing, so thank you for being here. Mr. Comics, one of our moderators and one of our Ultra Power viewers, says, let's see how my guesses did. We're all going to find out. Dan is here. I have Telepathy is 92nd today. John is here. Alfonso. Dan Lewis. Let's see. Roberto, I like donuts. Good to see you. Harvey, another one of my moderators. Jester. Andy, Collector Juggernaut is here. Johnny and Q-Ball and Thunder God and many more. So I could go on, but you guys are here for the comics. So let me put on the video camera. So I already took them out of the box, but I left it like this so you can see nothing has been tampered with. I don't know the grades. I have my predictions, which of course I will go over. So here's the funny part, and this actually shows the integrity of PGX. Whether you like them or not, all I can say is don't base your information on what you hear. Base it on your own experience. A lot of people have issues with PGX, not because they had a problem with them personally, it's because they read something or saw a video saying something. And that's not the way to formulate an honest opinion. Now, here's an interesting scenario. The reason that there are 8 books here, first of all, they're catching up and getting back on track. But what happened was, and this was actually my mistake, because a couple of people, a couple of months ago I meant to say, I sent in the books. Now, you've seen the video back in January about that Daredevil #1 that I bought from a person on eBay. It was graded a 0.5 from CGC, and I said there is no way that that book was a 0.5, and everybody that saw that video and saw that comic agreed that there was no way that that was a 0.5. So I broke it out of the slab and sent it to be regraded. Now, people were asking, well, whatever happened to that video, that comic, because they never saw it? Well, this is what ultimately happened. I just thought there was regular delays, because remember what I was saying, about them having the new cases and all this other stuff, and they're getting close to getting those new ones. I can't wait to show those, because they actually took some of my ideas. But I didn't get these comics, and I got the others, and I'm like, all right, maybe they messed it up. Maybe there's something going on. So after a while, I messaged them. I said, listen, I've been getting all the books, but there's this one that was a while ago, this one group, and I haven't gotten them. So I just wanted to see maybe they got lost or, there's just you're doing them in different orders. So I gave a list of the books. Now, one of them was, I listed all 4 of them, but one of the books was a Spider-Gwen #1 that's got like 6 signatures and 2 little sketches. So it's not something that would be just a generic book. And they said, oh, now we know whose books these are. I forgot to include my information I just sent the books without any of the slip or any of the information, so they didn't know whose this was. Now, they could have easily, after about 4 or 5 months, said, you know what? They're abandoned, let's keep them. Because legally, if somebody abandons something for over 30 days, you could legally take claim of them. But I got them back. So they could have easily turned around and sold them. They could have easily turned around and kept them. But they held on to them, not knowing whose they were. And as soon as I made the claim and told them the 4 books, and they realized that's what they were, and they did belong to me, they made sure that they sent them. So to me, that shows integrity. And again, don't base things on information from what you hear. Base it on your own experience. So to me, that's a good sign of a good company. They listen to me all the time. Their customer service is great. Yes, there were problems in the past. Name me companies that don't have problems. If you actually research some of the companies that are out there, I mean, should anybody be drinking Coca-Cola? Considering, remember, the ingredients were originally cocaine. You know, enough time goes by, people are supposed to forget things. It goes by not what you did, but what you do. Some people want to live in the past, and that's why some people stay angry. I base things on the fact of experience. And of all the books, I've been doing this basically up until recently. Once a month, I've been grading books for almost 2 years now, and there's only been one comic that I didn't think was a fair grade, and I actually cracked it open instead of what most people do, where they say, oh, you know, this was a 9.2, but I got a 9.8 from CGC. It's not supposed to be, but I'll take it. That to me does not show integrity. That's being dishonest. So I cracked it open, and I have it to this day. I'll probably get it sent out to be regraded. So here are 8 books. I don't know what the grades are. I'm just going to randomly pick 4 of them. I always write down what it is I sent, what I paid for it, what I predicted the grade to be. So I'm going to pick one of the books. I'm going to do 4 of them today, and then I will do the other 4 tomorrow. So stick around for that tomorrow. And let's see if we were close. And if you guys want to make predictions, you can. So here we go. So I'm just going to randomly pick a book. And I'm going to cover the grade so it cannot be seen. Oh, and look at that. The first one I pick is the Daredevil book. Now, I want you to see this book. Now, I'll show you the back, and I'm going to cover this so I can't see it. There is a piece missing right there. It's a fairly big piece, but it's not a huge piece of the whole book. It's not a quarter of the book or anything, but there is a piece missing. But it's complete. The staples are intact. The only thing is, this book was a little faded. As you can see, let me try and bring the light over a little bit. I apologize. The light's not the best here. But you can see it's a little faded. But this does not justify a 0.5. And I've said many times that CGC tends to undergrade, especially lower grade books. Now, everybody's saying 1.0, 1.8, 1.5. This is definitely does not warrant a 0.5. So I knew when I bought this that I was going to have it cracked open, and I looked inside. All the pages were fine. There was no writing. There was no coupons missing. The staples were attached in the centerfold and to the cover. There is no way this was a 0.5. So even if it was, I paid under what it's worth. I paid $410 for this book, which of course includes shipping and handling. So notice not one person says that they think this is a 0.5. Now, if PGX graded this as 0.5 and CGC regraded it as a 1.0 or 1.5 or whatever this is, people would be like, oh, see, PGX doesn't know what they're doing. But you notice how people always defend CGC. Now, I will always say I don't have a problem with CGC. They are the number one for a reason. They are the most highest resale value of books. I'm not going to deny that. But they are not mistake-proof. And if you don't call out a company when they make a mistake, they do not improve. And if they do not improve, how does that help us? So let's reveal what this comic is. Here we go. And there we go, a 1.8. Now, I predicted between a 1.5 and a 2.0. And I think that is an accurate grade for this book. It is not overgraded, and it is not undergraded, because it's... And Roberto says 1.0 because the missing piece makes it incomplete. A piece like this does not make it incomplete. Now, if it was a coupon, that's a different story. But please, Roberto, make sure you read the definitions. You're allowed to have pieces missing as long as it's not like a quarter of the page or half a page. This is just a ripped piece. It doesn't go all the way. It goes to about here, and it's on a decline. So that is not considered incomplete, because even CGC didn't mention it as incomplete, so that is not the definition of an incomplete. Now, if it was a tiny Marvel stamp, that's considered incomplete because it's a specific thing of the book that somebody actually purposely took out. This is just a regular tear. Nobody took this out because there was a coupon that was in the shape of a mountainside. So this is definitely a fair grade. So a 1.8 off-white pages. Let's see what I predicted, because I forgot to mention. So I predicted off-white pages. I paid $410. I predicted between a 1.5 and a 2.0 with off-white pages. It comes back a 1.8 with off-white pages. That, to me, is an accurate, fair grade. So they didn't try and say, oh, well, Chris is doing advertisements for us, so let's give him a 5.0. This is a fair grade, and everybody that was leaving statements, they were saying anywhere from a 1.0 to a 2.0. So this fits in exactly where I thought it was going to be. They could have easily just said it's a 2.0. I would have said that's a little bit over the realm, even though I said it. I think 1.8 is accurate for this book. I think they did a good job. Haters are going to hate no matter what. All right, so that's book number 1. I'm going to randomly pick another book. And this is why I do this live, because I want people, anybody can make a video making accusations. Like that whole Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle incident that basically destroyed PGX. They did not do that live. And there's a moment that the video camera pans away from them cutting open the book. They could have doctored it. They could have switched it. The idea is to not have any realm of doubt. That's why I do this live, so you can't see me trying to manipulate something or, cutting a camera angle or cutting something out or adding something in. There's a lot of dishonest people out there, and I am trying my hardest to show I'm not one of those. So here's the next book. This is from one of the other batches I sent in last month. This is Showcase number 8, which is the second Silver Age appearance of Flash and the first appearance of Captain Cold. Now, this one had a great story behind it. They had this listed. I don't remember the exact price. I think it was like $800, something like that, and I couldn't really afford it. And I made them an offer of like, I think $625, and they couldn't do it. And I said, I understand, but I thank you, and I wish you well. I wish you success. And they came back a couple of minutes later and said, you know what? I'll give it to you for that price. So it shows to be kind, to be respectful, and wish people well. Sometimes you don't win. It happens, but don't feel bad or bitter about it. So I got this with including shipping and handling, $634, and I believe that's, 9 cents. Now, I predicted this a 1.8 to a 2.5 with creamed off-white pages. Let me show the back so you can see the back is complete. No cutout coupons or anything, so if you guys want to make a prediction. So this is an older book. The major defect is it's got a lot of color breaks. It's hard to see, I apologize. There's some color breaks. There's a little rip here by the staple, but not anything major. You could see the cover is complete, but it does have on the bottom a bunch of color breaking lines, about at least about 10 of them, around 10. And the spine, obviously for a book in the 60s, or is this the 50s? I think this is actually, this is 1957, so I didn't look at the grade, but it's from 1957. The cover is detached, so keep that in mind. So this is going to be a lower grade. The highest grade a detached cover could be is a 3.0. So again, I predicted a 1.8 to a 2.5. So it definitely, Michael, cannot be a 4.5, and I Like Donuts can't be a 3.5 because it has a detached cover. That I knew when I bought it. All right, so what is the grade I got for this book? And there we go. I predicted, what did I say? A 1.8 to a 2.5, and what do I get? A 2.0, which again is a fair grade for this book. It is not overgraded like so many people claim. Now, obviously, they may have done that in the past, but it could have been employees that were the ones that were let go, and they got better people to grade. So this, again, is an accurate grade, because like I said, the highest this could be is a 3.0. But with those color breaks and everything, that's going to lower the grade a little bit. So the cover is detached. They did mention that. Off-white pages, what did I say? I said cream to off-white, so it's pretty much the same. So they write in here, second appearance of Silver Age Flash, origin and first appearance of Captain Cold. So, again, that is a fair grade for this book, and I am very happy with how this came out. And that is, in my opinion, so far, 2 for 2. Again, you could listen to whoever you want. People have the right to their opinion, but if you're going to listen to somebody solely on an opinion and not based on their own actual personal experience, or they lie about an experience, you know, show proof. You're seeing proof here. All right, so let's pick another book. I'm going to pick the one right on the top here, and then I'll show one more, and then we'll do the next ones tomorrow. There we go. I'm trying to do this. Okay, so this is, I believe... All right, so this is one of my Golden Age books. This is from the one from back in January. This is Submariner, issue number 6. I was actually fortunate enough to get issue number 2 as well from the Golden Age. I don't know how I managed to get that one, but I lucked out. But this is number 6. I paid $495 and 95 cents, I'm sorry. I predicted this to be a 2.0 to a 3.0, so let's show the back, because the pressings and dry cleanings absolutely help. For a book from the 40s, this looks beautiful. You can see the colors. Now, it's hard to see, but there is a little bit of foxing along the white edge of the back of the spine, but not major amounts. The book is, let me try and do this without seeing the grade. The book is in, let me look at it. I'm not looking at the grade. The cover is detached. That I knew. And remember, that means it could, the highest it could be is a 3.0. Now, somebody wrote a little letter S in the Submariner, but overall, this book from the 1940s looks pretty darn good. So the highest this could be is a 3.0 with a detached cover. So again, I predicted this to be a 2.0 to a 3.0 with cream to off-white pages. Somebody who owned this book took a lot of care in this book. So let's find out what the grade is for Submariner issue number 6. All right, a 4.0. All right, so let me check on this. I want to verify, because that could be overgraded. Let's look up, because I could be mistaken for Golden Age with a detached cover. So give me a second. I'm going to look this up. And it could show that even I can make mistakes. Let's look up. I'm going to look up CBCS's grading guidelines, because everybody agrees that CBCS is the strictest when it comes to grading. So give me a second to have this uploaded. Because I'll tell you, the cover, look, somebody actually predicted this as 6. So, except for the fact that the cover is detached, I mean, it's got off-white to white pages. All right, so let's go to the grading guidelines. Let's look a 4.0 up according to CBCS. And let's see if I was wrong about thinking a 3.0 is the highest. Okay, so they're saying a very good 3.5 to a 5.0. These books are complete but can have major creases and spine roll. This does not. Cover gloss can be very low or sometimes no gloss at all. Inside paper quality can be low. Small pieces of the pages may be missing. Books are brittle. It doesn't say about the cover being detached. All right, let me try and find another one because they don't say about that. So I want to make sure this is accurate. Give me a second. And this is why I like doing this live, so this way we can check things and you can verify. So let's go to the grading guide, another grading guide, because CBCS's is not as complete as some other grading guides out there. So let me go to Another one right here. Give me a second. My internet's acting a little slow. All right, so let's see. Let's go down to a 4.0. This has got a higher definition. Okay, 4.0, very good, because this is specifically talking about that grade, not a range. All right, the average used comic book cover shows moderate to significant wear, which this really doesn't. May be loose, but not completely detached. Okay, so this grade is actually not accurate. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I was right. So this one has been overgraded because according to PGX's own website, a 4.0 could not have a cover detached. Now I'm going to ask about the fact, is that different for a Golden Age book? Because like, for example, tape on a Golden Age book is not considered restoration, but on a newer book, it would be. So that's very interesting. So if anybody knows about this, let me know, because there is a different criteria for Golden Age books. So I'm going to have to ask about that, but it's not like they gave it a 7.0 or anything, but I will check on this. So that one, to be determined. So let's do one more. And again, that's why I like doing this live. All right, so we're going to pick the last one. I'm just going to randomly pick a book, and we'll do the next 4 tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. All right, so which one is this? Let me put on my camera so I can actually see. Okay, so this is the Eternals book. This is the first one I got. This is the 30-cent variant edition. Now, let me show the back. Pressing looks really nice. You can see the back is complete. Very bright white. The color is really shine. Let me hide this. I'm going to look. No major defects. I'll let you see. All the way up and down. This is a higher grade book. Now this was sent in my second batch. I only paid $310.65 for this book. 55 cents. I'm predicting about a 7.5 to an 8.5, and that was before the pressing and dry cleaning. This looks so much nicer than what I thought, so it might even be higher than an 8.5 for this, with white pages. So this is the 30-cent variant. This is definitely a book that you definitely got to get. Now, we got to hope the movie is good. So, let's see what we got. I have a feeling this one's going to be higher than I thought. All right, so we got the grade of Pages, Films, and Plastics as an 8.6. I could probably predict you might not be right about that one. All right, so here we go. All right, so there we go, an 8.5. So right in the range of what I predicted. And again, I think that is a really fair grade. The only major flaw, if you want to say major, is a tiny, tiny color break increase. See if you could see it right there, right at the tip, right there. That breaks color. Maybe a half an inch long, a quarter of an inch long. So there we go. That book is spot on. Let's see if they said white pages, so I was right about that. They did mark down the 30-cent price variant. So an 8.5 for this book is probably, let me see what the value of that book is. Now, of course, I go by gocollect.com. Now, they grade it based on CGC books, but that's all right because this book, being a variant and very desirable, it's going to sell pretty close, if not even, to a CGC book. But I will say it would most likely be lower. But let's see what they say would be for the variant at an 8.5. So give me a second. My computer is really acting slow today. All right. So again, if anybody can find out about the Golden Age grading, I want to know if it is a little different for the Golden Age, like they give it a little bit more slack. You know, I might call CGC and CBCS and see if they'll respond, see what they say. All right, so the 30-cent variant, according to gocollect.com, at an 8.5 is $700. So if I sold this, I could probably sell it for $600. But I wouldn't sell it now anyway because I'm going to be waiting for the Eternals movie. So I think I could sell this easily between $500 and $600 easily now, and probably about $700 to $1,000 later. I spent a total of $310 for this book. And that's why I always tell people, make sure you underpay for what a book is. And if you cannot find the deal, unless you absolutely need the book because it's going to be, you know, right the day before the new movie comes out, you know, wait. So I'm going to make profit on this no matter what I do, unless, of course, like I said, the movie bombs and it's a travesty and they all disappear from value. But that's why it's always good to get the rarer books, because there's not as many of these out there, and that makes this much more desirable. So no matter what company you grade it with, it's really not going to matter, because desirable books are going to be bought. I mean, look how much, like, for example, Hulk 181 in a PGX grade is being sold. No one's buying them for $5. So those are the 4 books, and I'm going to keep the other 4 over here where I cannot see them, and I will do those tomorrow. So this is, let me put the camera again right here. So this is the first book, 8.5 Eternals #1. I predicted, let me take the paper out. I predicted a 7.5 to 8.5 with white pages. I was right about that. This one, the Submariner #6, I said between a 2 and a 3. It came back a 4. I mean, honestly, I'm going to have to find out about it, but considering how beautiful this book is, I cannot be too upset about this, and I'll do some further research, but that's the only one in quote-unquote question. You know, it's not like they gave it a 7.0. All right, but another one that I predicted, this is showcase number 8. I predicted a 1.8 to a 2.5. Creamed off-white pages. It came back a 2.0 off-white pages. And last but not least, the book I've been waiting for months. This was graded a CGC 0.5. There was no way this was a 0.5. Had it regraded, came back a 1.8, and I agree with that. I predicted between a 1.5 and a 2.0. So definitely a major upgrade for me for this book. This is how I would have said my 3rd copy, but one of the books I gave away in my, somebody ordered one of the platinum mystery boxes, which, by the way, I'm still selling the mystery boxes if you're interested. My 2.0 Daredevil #1 went with one of the purchases of one of my platinum mystery boxes. So it shows that I will put some good books in there to make sure you're not getting duds. So now I have only 2 copies. So this, I have a 6.0 and a 1.8. So very happy with these. So those are the 4 books. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. Be honest. See the evidence, not just what you hear and what people regurgitate. Let me do today's surprise subscriber shout out. Please hit the like button if you like these videos. It does help my channel, and I need all the help I can get. Hit subscribe if you haven't. And thank you for all the people that were in the chat and also making their predictions. We have a new subscriber. So we're going to give the shout out to Brennan Shane. Says just subscribed earlier today. So what better surprise subscriber shout out to give than a person who just literally subscribed? So please make sure when this video uploads, you put in the comments section a little shout out for our shout out. And don't forget, sign up for the cashback program. The link is in the description. eBay is offering once again 2% off for comic book purchases on eBay. So that switches every now and then, so take advantage of it while you still can. And if you haven't signed up, again, the link is in the description, and I also put it in the live chat. If you sign up and spend $25 within the first 90 days of signing up, not only do you get the 2% cash back, but you also get a $10 additional cash back, and I get a one-time referral fee. So it helps my channel, and the proceeds help with my cat and with us trying to move and everything. So it is a good cause. I'm not using it for vacations or anything. So everybody say hello to Brendan. He was here to see it, obviously, because he just made the comment. I'm glad you subscribed. Please share this video if you can. Let me know what you thought. And come back tomorrow. Probably around 12 in the afternoon I'll do the video, because I don't want to wait too long, because he's going to be sitting here. I'm going to be tempted to look, and I don't want to do that. Herbert says many Pence copies are rarer. That is very true, but rare doesn't always mean valuable. Keep that in mind. It's desirability. The reason the U.S. copies are always tend to be worth more, and obviously there's always exceptions to each rule, is the fact of that's where they come from. So yes, there are plenty of Pence copies that are rarer. It doesn't necessarily mean they're more valuable. So just keep that in mind. So anyway, thank you very much. Hopefully you appreciated this video. Your thumbs up will show me that you did. Come back tomorrow and we'll get another surprise subscriber shout out. Hit subscribe if you haven't. And don't forget, it is not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics. Thanks everybody for participating. Have a great day. And I'll see you next video.